All right, guys, this is Irene here, CBiz Media, with more Married at First Sight afterthoughts. I know there's actually one more episode. I am kind of ready to be done with this, but I'm going to try to get out as much as I can from everything that I've seen so far. And I don't know what we're going to see next time as we go further with this season as I'm recording. Yeah, we got one more episode left. Both reunions have passed. So I'm talking about Emem and Brandon and the big thirst that they share. Now, we saw the second reunion. Brandon comes out with a lot of tomfoolery, trying to shake Akechi's hand. Akechi refuses. He laughs about some bet he had. He talks about personal bedroom information. He makes sound effects with his hands. And is a little bit too descriptive when it comes to some personal things between him and himself. Now, for those that don't know, Married at First Sight, it's a reality show. It's basically you get married right away. You're fixed up by experts, and they're supposed to pick the perfect person for you. And hopefully everything goes right, and a lot of times it doesn't. But they have had some successes in the past, and they kind of have some weird one-offs. But Ilm says, you guys you weren't successful finding me a husband with Akechi, but the rebound guy, which she didn't say that, but that's exactly who he is. The rebound guy I found in the aftermath was everything that I wanted, so I still found love through this process, or I'll say after this process. Maybe that opened her eyes and made her realize what she really wanted. To me, it kind of made her more desperate than she possibly was ever before, because Brandon's an attractive enough guy. They knew each other back in elementary school, so it's not as if he's a complete stranger. But he just recently had gotten out of a marriage. He's going through a divorce as well as she is, though it was a different scenario. He's in the doghouse sleeping on his sister's couch, and this is the first time we meet this guy right on the heels of her going through the divorce process for her husband within the Married at First Sight show experience. So they're both hurting. They're both probably need some healing, and they probably just want to feel loved and feel good again. So I feel like they kind of fall into each other's arms. To me, Brandon was a little bit too much of proclaiming his love for her. Too much, too fast. You're just getting out of a marriage. You're going through a divorce, and he's completely enamored with her, which sounds wonderful. And I'm not even going to say that it's not going to work, but it's just not traditional and not customary. I had a relative in my life where I felt they moved fast. We're in different states, so I wasn't in front and center for everything that happened, but they ended up marrying, having a kid, and they're still together now. So things like that can work out. But when you put the element of a reality show on it, on top of it, the possibility of fame and getting attention, I feel like Brandon is a big, kind of attention guy. He's a finesser. He says the right things. But now that he's in the door and we're on the second part of the reunion, to me, I feel like he just let out all the messiness. He's so comfortable now with him that he's just giving us messiness right on camera. So now he wants to marry her, and from what I'm hearing, the ink hasn't dried on her divorce papers, even though I think his divorce may be final at the point where he is proposing, and not proposing, but actually asking Pastor Cal, one of the experts there at the reunion, to marry them. Can you marry us kind of like right now? And Pastor Cal, he does refuse at the time. He doesn't refuse like that, but he's like, I need to talk to you guys first. We need to do some counseling. And I heard some people say, one YouTuber was like, Pastor Cal don't want nothing to do with y'all. And he probably blocked y'all from his phone or something like that. I would agree if I was Pastor Cal, but I feel like he was right by stating, I have to get to know you guys. We have to do counseling. I'm not the kind of pastor that's just going to marry somebody and I have no background information. And I'm sorry, things do look kind of fishy when it comes to this setup. He's always trying to marry her on camera. And that's another thing Pastor Cal said. He's like, let's do this off camera because maybe he's feeling and sensing that this guy loves the camera and he's performing for it. Sadly, we do find out that they lost a child, and I didn't even, it's not my business how they live their lives and all of that, but I feel like why not get married first then try for a kid? Was it something that happened that you guys weren't planning? To me, I feel like Ilm is just kind of throwing caution to the wind. Not that I know who she is and what she's done in her past, but to go through this process to get married, and then you're accepting this engagement with this person. It's been a year. This person's also got you pregnant. This person is, to me, a little bit of a wild card and kind of flies by the seat of his pants as well. Don't know all the things he did in his past marriage, because that also gives me red flags. If he's on the couch, what did he do? And no one plans a divorce, of course, but usually the person that ends up on the couch is probably the person that has instigated the whole situation, and they have no plan. Because if I was gonna get divorced, and I just had to get divorced to this person and I was the one to put the papers in, I would have some type of plan as to where I'm gonna stay. I know at times money can run out and all of that, and you could be on the couch for a minute, but it depends on how long you're on that couch. Because if you again are kind of thrown for a loop, you might be trying to save your marriage, but you get kicked out, then yeah, you're going to end up on somebody's couch. It's a blessing to have that couch. So lots of red flags when it comes to Brandon. And I feel like they both kind of have a big thirst. They're both really thirsty. People were saying Em was thirsty when she was with the Ketchy for love and to have her a husband. And she's really showing her thirst by picking up this guy instead. Again, don't know all the ins and outs of this guy. I know what he first showed us in the beginning, and he seemed as if he kind of had his stuff together. Though, again, he was on his sister's couch and just coming out of a divorce. He was saying all the right things as if he was in love with her. And now he kind of just let us see all of the messiness of who he really is. And to me, I couldn't take him anywhere. Honestly, if I was in that position to have a partner like that, I wouldn't say that I would throw them away. I don't know if all the ins and outs again, but I definitely, this will kind of be a secret relationship for a while till I figure out what is this guy on, because he is definitely on something. And his thirst, to me, is not just for Em, because it sounds like they have a lot of bedroom time together, so maybe that thirst is being fulfilled for both of them. But also, every time he gets on the TV screen, he wants to perform and he wants to propose and he wants to do all the things. So he's thirsty for the camera is what I'm feeling. So they both were trying to quench these thirsts they have. And maybe some thirsts are not revealed yet. Some thirsts I don't know about, we don't know about. Hopefully Em knows all the thirst and moves accordingly. But we're looking at two thirsty people, but are they thirsty for the same thing? Because if you're both thirsty for the same thing, I think you guys can make things work. It's a common goal. But I feel like he has some other things in mind. And that's the thing that kind of scares me. It's a bit of a cringe. I don't see him being the type of person to risk it all for. He's doing everything. He's in the apartment. I think he lives with her. This is my assumption. I don't know. But it also kind of makes me think a little bit David and Michelle, David and Madison. I keep mixing their names up. This is probably like the third time, guys, that you caught me mixing their names up. David and Madison, she was so thirsty for David. She's like, leave your parents home and move in with me. Things are moving somewhat fast with them. She even said that they were moving fast. So, like, how thirsty can we be to get that partner, to get that man, to get that mate? I think both of these ladies are showing a little bit of thirst, a little more thirst than I expected. I knew they had some things possibly in common, but the thirst, I think, is kind of a thing that they have in common. But I think M's is worse because with Brandon, I couldn't take him anywhere. At least David can act. He can act decent around company, but Brandon, I would have to send him to his room whenever company came. Those are just my thoughts when it comes to this couple here. Again, I think they said there's going to be a Where Are They Now episode, which I guess I don't watch this franchise enough to know that this is customary. If this is customary or not, let me know. But I'm very interested in seeing where they are now. And then we can put this whole chapter of Married at First Sight to a close. So that's my quick thoughts and comments on that. What are your thoughts, comments? So you can always drop them, or you can email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. That's cbiztv@yahoo.com. Stop in and listen to us on our other platforms, and you can find them. We have some links on our page, but we also have our website links that you could go to at cbiztvmedia.com, which will lead you to all the other links again at cbiztvmedia.com to check us out on additional platforms. Thank you guys for listening. Let's talk again. This is Irene. All the best. God bless.